Bula Vinaka, and welcome to Talk Business, and a big hello as well to our viewers across the region receiving us through Sky Pacific. On the show tonight, taking local cinemas to greater heights, how 50 years in the motion picture business has this movie-loving family risking a $30 million project, and we take a look at what financial literacy can translate to, how to make informed decisions with the notes in your wallet. It's an aspect of recreational activity that clearly defines entertainment for families in Fiji. After all, what else do most families get up to at the weekends? You guessed right, it's the cinemas, which is probably the most salient and versatile form of leisure activity that has survived over the decades. We've had a bowling alley, amusement centers and fun parks that's been in operation before, but nothing quite like the cinemas has kept it together for this long. And there's a good reason behind this success story. Journalist Rachna Nath caught up with the owners of Fiji's only cinema operators to find out how they've survived in the movie house business.
All aboard, everybody! All aboard!
It's the good old classic flicks that takes us back in time and down that pleasant memory lane. From the rugged cowboy John Wayne to beautiful Breakfast at Tiffany's, Audrey Hepburn, to the 007 Sean Connery, and of course the White Diamonds beauty Elizabeth Taylor, who have graced the silver screen from yesteryears, setting the bar for what good cinema is perceived today. Through the evolution of local cinema over the last 50 years, we've been sprinkled with a little stardust too. It was back in the early 50s when cinema was first introduced here, an old-style manual projector against a stiff white sheet. An emerging popular culture from the 70s to the 80s, movie houses became a bustling business, with many theaters opening up all around the country. But that soon died out in the late 80s and early 90s with the advent of television. And by the mid-90s, not many cinemas continued with the real film, except the last standing cinema company that's left the curtains up till today. Damodar Brothers has continued the legacy for 5 decades now, growing its cinema business to what it is today. Dating back to its humble origins, the cinema operators have come a long way. They started off with a small retail outlet in Reki some 60 years ago and gradually moved to the capital not too long after to start off a textile import and export business. With a shop in the capital's retail hub, Mark Street, the idea of a cinema first came to life then.
You know how retailers that days, they would always sit at the door, they would look at other businesses and stuff, what's happening, talking with people. And there was a Century Cinema across the road. That's where he started. You see, because those days, because there was no piracy, you know, there was lots of queues and lots of line-ins. Dad said, look, this is something good. And slowly he started doing premieres and buying films and inquiring, and got along from Century and then went to Regal. Then after the purchase of Regal, then they did purchase of Century. And then the first complex they built was in Ravanga Twin. So even those days he was very risking it, but it was with touch wood that everything went perfectly.
That's when the company established the Regal Theatre, which had one large screen with a capacity of more than 600 seats. Following its success, the family business poured in more investment with the establishment of the Century Theatre, which had a seating capacity of 680. But it doesn't end here. Cinema was already proving a popular and profitable venture, and the company ventured out boldly, setting up the Ravanga Twin Cinemas. This had 2 screens with a much larger sitting capacity of more than 1,200 seats. The Damodar brothers knew the potential in the motion picture business and never backed out. Come 1994, and this was the turning point of the local cinema industry.
One fine day that we got a call from Roadshow, and the following week they showed up and they proposed about Villa 6 in 94. And then 96, the whole thing started.
The country's first multiplex cinema took less than a year to construct, and by 1996, Villa 6 cinemas opened up in Suva with 6 screens equipped with the latest technology. A new culture was born. With changing trends driven by the 90s pop culture, going to the movies became the new hangout spot and quickly became a regular favorite on the family to-do list. This led to another establishment of a multiplex cinema in Lautoka with 4 large screens. And well, the rest, as you know now, is history. The Mother brothers have survived the last 5 decades, despite the technological changes in films, cinema, communication, and entertainment. But it hasn't always been easy.
It's come a long way from Regal and Century days. Look at it. I mean, I remember when I was about 12 years old, my first job was collecting bottles in Regal. So from that day, and I look at now, yeah, it come a long way. The whole movie-going culture, the way it's made, and it's totally changed. And we had to move along because in our business, there's a new generation every 5 years, and we're not in a product line where in our case, in our products, they last only a week. You can be at the biggest movie opening, whole around the world. Yes, that's fine. Thursday opens, next week there's someone else coming. Yeah? Yesterday was Arnold, today's Vin Diesel. So you have to move along, and that's what we found now with the cinemas, that we have to change along technology, what people like, 3D. I mean, we started off with one 3D cinema. Just last week we installed in Lautoka. We installed another additional 3D cinema in Villa 6. So we have to move along. And I think one thing we've seen is that there's a lot of interest in the audience, and there's a lot of curiosity on the entertainment industry. So that has helped us.
As the cinema culture hooked on, so did the varied genres of movies screened here. With Hollywood already into its prime, Bollywood was slowly growing out of its niche market. And today, well, there's the beauty of subtitles.
Bollywood is no more of we would say, a Indian thing anymore. It's very multicultural, I mean, also we saw that in Western Samoa. They love Hrithik Roshan down there. They just love him. So they love Bollywood. So we found, hey, Bollywood's quite going easy, because it's a very good family entertainment. So I think that's something that go along very well.
However, the urge to continue to take local cinema to greater heights hasn't ceased. 3-dimensional or 3D cinema was recently introduced, which allows patrons to virtually become a part of the movie, enhancing the illusion of depth perception. This no doubt has already become quite popular, but increasing cinema excellence is close to the heart of the country's largest cinema operators. And it's getting larger than life itself. A $30 million complex is now taking shape here in the fast-paced Lodala Bay suburb. Already a bustling settlement with the region's largest university located in its vicinity, supermarkets, sporting arena, aquatic center, and a shopping complex, the company is now setting up the Mother City complex. This will be a 174,000 feet shopping center that's going to be a mega entertainment domain that's going to change how recreational activities is now portrayed.
The cinemas are no more of a one-stop shop. It has to be integrated with the shopping center, and it's purely because of the lifestyles of people nowadays. Because we're always in a rush. We prefer to go to one place and do a shopping, and hey, okay, that's done. Let's get the movie tickets and the whole ambience of the place. And also one thing we've looked at thoroughly is that cinemas is a family thing. Cinemas is an outing where families all come together. By having a mall concept with it, just puts the icing on the cake. So this is something what Dad and myself, we've been studying this for quite a while. And to be funny, we spent most of our time talking to people. I think a good 2 or 3 years, I would say, literally talking to people, and we used Facebook. And my God, some of the comments that you get in there, but some of them very good, some of them were not right, but about 80% of them, when you heard people what they were saying, was very interesting what they wanted. So what the concept you see today is what people wanted. We literally relied on some of this information, even through getting all the information from Facebook and meeting with people and all, getting their views and all. Then we used consultants, and we found it was quite surprising what came out. And because at the end of the day, if you go back to the root, what people want, rather than assuming that it's what they want, it's quite a difference.
What is it, Dad? What happened? They done did it again. They done blew up gate number 5.
Stay tuned. Up next, from screen projected theatres to modern-day multiplex cinemas, how the Motor City Centre takes Fiji cinema up a notch.